Okay, think about your day. From your phone to your computer, pretty much everything runs on a constant stream of electricity. But what happens when the wall outlet isn't there? Or worse, when it suddenly cuts out? Well, that's when we reach for one of these two little boxes, the power bank and the uninterruptible power supply, or UPS. Let's dig in and see what's really going on inside.
I mean, we really trust these things, don't we? To us, they're basically just magic boxes. You plug them in, they soak up power, and then they give it back right when we need it most. It sounds so simple, but it's really not.
You know, inside these plain plastic shells, there's this incredible, sophisticated dance of electronics going on. It's all about carefully managing, protecting, and transforming energy. So today, we're going to crack these things open and reveal the hidden engineering that keeps our digital world from going dark. All right, let's start with the one most of us have in our bag or pocket right now, the portable power bank. How on earth does it safely grab power from a charger and then turn around and feed it to our phones? So at the very heart of both a power bank and a UPS is, of course, a battery. No surprise there. But here's the thing. A battery all by itself is kind of useless and, honestly, dangerous. The real genius is the circuitry built around it, acting like a bodyguard to keep it safe and healthy. And the batteries themselves are totally different, for really good reasons. Your power bank, it's using lightweight lithium-ion cells. They're perfect for carrying around, and they usually run at a low voltage, something like 3.7 volts. A UPS, on the other hand, couldn't care less about being portable. It uses a big, heavy, high-capacity lead-acid battery, often at 12 volts, because its only job is to deliver a massive punch of energy the second the lights go out. See, you can't just hook up a charger directly to a battery. You'd completely destroy it. So instead, they use a dedicated protection circuit, and you really can think of it like that electronic bodyguard. It's often a tiny chip, something like the DW01, and it uses these little electronic switches called MOSFETs to shield the battery from every kind of danger you can imagine. So how does this bodyguard actually do its job? Well, it's incredibly fast. Let's just take overcharging, for example. First, that little protection chip is constantly, and I mean constantly, watching the battery's voltage. The very instant it sees that voltage hit its absolute safe maximum, let's say 4.2 volts, bam! It sends a signal to a MOSFET. That MOSFET then acts like a gate, immediately swinging open and cutting off any more current from getting in. It's a simple idea, but it's absolutely critical for preventing damage and making the battery last. Okay, so we've safely stored the power. But now we have a whole new problem. The voltage coming out of the battery is almost never the voltage our other devices actually need. And this is where the real electrical magic starts to happen. Right, when you're charging your power bank, the USB charger you're using is putting out 5 volts. But as we just talked about, that lithium-ion battery inside needs a lower voltage, something closer to 4.2 volts. That's the buck converter's job. It efficiently steps that voltage down, making sure the battery gets the perfect amount of power without wasting a bunch of energy as heat. And then, when you want to charge your phone, everything flips. The battery is only putting out about 3.7 volts, but your phone needs a solid 5 volts from its USB port to charge. So the circuit switches over to a boost converter, which does the exact opposite. It steps the voltage up, from the battery to that required 5 volts. And here is the big aha moment for power banks. The efficiency of both of these circuits is what really matters. It determines how much of that energy you stored actually makes it into your phone's battery. A really well-engineered power bank isn't just about having a big battery. It's about this elegant two-way street of power conversion that wastes as little as possible. But for a UPS, oh man, the challenge is way bigger. It doesn't just need to change the voltage, it has to change the fundamental type of electricity. You see, batteries provide direct current, or DC. Think of it like a river flowing in one direction. But the power from your wall outlet, that's alternating current, or AC, where the flow is reversing itself over and over super fast. They're two completely different languages, electrically speaking. The piece of equipment that acts as the translator between these two worlds is the inverter. Its whole job is to take that steady, low-voltage DC from the battery and skillfully chop it up and transform it into the high-voltage, oscillating AC that your computer and everything else expects to see from the wall. This is the absolute core function that lets a UPS save your work when the power dies. So this brings us to the UPS itself, which, you'll see, is so much more than just a big power bank waiting for an outage. A good UPS is an active power manager. It's constantly watching and conditioning the electricity coming from the wall before it ever gets to your computer. You know, if you've ever peeked inside a UPS, You might have noticed the transformer's weird. It has a whole bunch of extra wires coming out of it. Why is that? Well, it's because it's not just a simple transformer, it's something way, way cleverer. It's called an autotransformer. Now, isn't this clever? Those extra wires are basically different connection points, or taps, set at different places on the transformer's coil. The UPS's main brain is always measuring the voltage coming in from the wall. If it's too low, a brownout where the lights dim, it uses these little clicking relays to switch to a tap that boosts the voltage back up. If the voltage is too high, like during a surge, it switches to a different tap to trim it back down. And the coolest part? It does all of this instantly without ever needing to use the battery. And that voltage regulation is really what separates the different kinds of UPSs. Your basic offline model, it just switches to the battery when the power goes out completely. But a line interactive model with that clever auto transformer is always actively correcting those sags and surges, which makes it perfect for a workstation or a home server. And then you have the high-end online UPS. That's the ultimate protector. It always runs your gear from a perfectly clean, regenerated AC signal it creates itself, completely isolating things like data centers from any problem on the power grid ever.
So as we pull back a bit, you can start to see it, right? Even though a power bank and a UPS look so different and do different jobs, they're really built on the exact same core principles of smart power management. When you get right down to it, both of these devices have to master the same fundamental jobs. They have to store power, they have to protect that power, they have to convert voltage, and then for the UPS, they also have to invert and regulate it. It's the whole package.
And that's really the main thing to take away from all this. The next time you plug your phone into that little brick or hear that reassuring beep from your UPS during a storm, just remember, you're not just using a battery. You're relying on a complete, intelligent system, a silent guardian of electricity that is working constantly to keep your world powered on. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other everyday gadgets are hiding this same level of sophisticated engineering right under our noses? Let us know what you think we should tear down next. Thanks for joining us.